Yo, what's up? You kicking it with Ken on the Lee and Ken Show. Look, let's jump right in it. On this particular episode, we are talking about Urban Air Pearland, which is right outside of Houston, Texas, roughly 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Houston, firing a 16-year-old girl who couldn't make it to work during a severe weather advisory for the city. The girl in question, her name is Alyssa. Alyssa contacted her managers via email, let them know that she couldn't make it to work because of the distance that she lived, plus the severe weather advisory. And Tim, her manager at Urban Air, said, "Nah, Alyssa, this is not going to be excused." He went on to say, as stated below, no show is grounds for termination, baby girl. You out of here if you don't come. And of course, I translated it my own way. He didn't say that, but he was a little more professional than me. But he fired her basically. Now I got a hold of this story through Facebook. One way or another, I seen it. I think it was like 50 or 60 shares. Her mom shared it and shared the screenshots and was upset that her daughter got fired from Urban Air, a job that she loved so much, because she couldn't make it. And the only reason she couldn't make it is that it was the city of Houston, Texas, was under a severe weather advisory. Now, apparently, Urban Air didn't know that. At least that's what they say, right? And on this list, they actually, on the thread on Facebook, Urban Air actually responded to her. But before I tell you the response, this is another response or a comment on the status or share, I guess. This is Lakeisha. Lakeisha said, "This is insane and disheartening. Please keep us updated as to how this is resolved. Urban Air receives a lot of business from us, but if they expect employees to put their safety at risk, then they will no longer receive our patronage. I hope they do the right thing and rescind her for dismissal now that they are aware that it was, in fact, a weather warning." Yes, that'll be perfect, right? But let's talk about what Urban Air said. In response to the mom, "Hey, Tamika," that's the mom name, "we follow the same policies for all employees. Our other employees came to work. We were not aware of a weather advisory to not drive. If so, we would have closed for safety of our employees and customers. Tim will reach out to your daughter by phone, but they are trained on our policies and know that not coming to work is considered job abandonment." Now, job abandonment in most cases is no call, no show. And you got to remember that Alyssa emailed and told her that I can't make it because of the weather advisory. Under Tim's discretion, he like, "Nah, you got to make it." He sound like a slave. Look, that's when a slave owner whip lash gonna come in. That's gonna be the sound effect that I'm gonna use. But anyway, nah, you got to make it. And if you don't, you're gonna get fired. Which is totally understandable for me if this girl didn't email you, but she emailed you and you responded, but you didn't care about the weather advisory. Tim, you didn't care. You fired her anyway. That's messed up, right? It's another response from Urban Air. "We are sorry that such miscommunication occurred. It seems that our employee may not clearly understand our attendance policy. We love our employees, but it is so important that we uphold our policies and treat all employees equally. We'll fire anybody who doesn't come to work. We depend on employee attendance to provide great service to our guests. We would appreciate the opportunity to clarify directly as opposed to via a public forum. Don't be putting our business out there. We want everybody to know why we fired your daughter, but she gonna stay fired. We are looking into the weather advisory and will speak to this employee directly." You mean ex-employee because you fired her, right? Look, I don't mean to make fun of Alyssa by far. I'm actually on Alyssa's side, but I'm disgusted with Urban Air, and Urban Air sucks like big time for this, because there's no way you can live in Houston and you weren't aware of the weather advisory. No way you can live in Pearland and you weren't aware of the weather advisory this past weekend. Since Hurricane Harvey, the city is suffering from PTSD. Every storm, every speck of rain, you don't even got to see the rain. You can smell the rain coming. And you run into HEB or Kroger's or Randall's, Walmart, Sam's, Costco's, wherever to stock up, because Hurricane Harvey hit us that hard. People lost so much in Hurricane Harvey that we really are suffering from PTSD. And I can imagine the fear that this little girl felt when she walked outside and seen the flooded roads. And it wasn't Harvey flooded at all, you know. But there were definitely flooded roads. The bayous were flooded. And it was hard. There was definitely, you know, the freeway on 288, which floods all the time, was a little flooded. It was definitely a situation where that one day of work could have been excused, especially if the rest of the team came. If you had the rest of the team, that's the whole purpose of a team, is when one person falls short, the rest of the team pick up the slack, and we keep going. Urban Air, if you didn't know, that's what the rest of your team members are for. There's not one job that was specific to this 16-year-old girl. I just don't understand you not understanding the weather advisory. Now, if it was a habit of this, if she were late all the time, if she was consistent with the no calls, no shows, or emailing to get time off, then yeah, you let her go. But that's not how you responded on Facebook. You said for this particular time. And that's just, it don't make sense. Alyssa, we're going to find you a job. We got to. We're going to do something. But if not, you should rethink the fact that you want to work there. There's other places that's going to value you. There's other places that's going to make sure that your health is a priority, your safety is a priority, and will understand. And first of all, will be aware, won't act like they weren't aware of the citywide weather advisory, Alyssa. It gets better from here. You're only 16. Don't worry about it. But look, if you seeing this, please comment and let me know, what would you do? What would you want your 16-year-old daughter to do? And are you Team Alyssa or Team Urban Air? Thank you for kicking it with Ken on the Lee and Ken Show.